Hi guys. I have an errand day today and I started getting ready, and as I was getting ready I was like, wait a minute, I should just film this because it's a really pretty simple and easy, like no makeup look that I think so many people could achieve. And so I figured, why not make a quick little video out of it for you guys, a little step-by-step of how to get this, how to achieve this look and finish it up, you know? All right, let's get started. So since we're gonna do a little bit of underpainting today, I'm gonna go in with the Milk makeup, and it is their Cooling Water Jelly Tint in shade Spritz. So this is kind of like a pinky coral shade. I really wish that they had more shades. I like actually, I'm such a dweeb. I actually commented on one of their posts about this, and I was like, it would be really awesome if you guys came out with some more shades, you know, like especially if you had some more like beige skin tones. Like imagine if they made these but like bronzer shades or even like contour shades. That would be so awesome for underpainting. All right, so we're gonna get wild with this. We are gonna put this, we're scribbling this all over. You don't want to use your fingers to blend, totally fine. I'm gonna start off with my fingertips and then I'm gonna go in with my beauty blender from Rougher. I'm gonna start off over here. And so this, I love this product because it's gonna stain. So that's why it's so good for underpainting. I made a video like this a few months ago when I first started my channel, and I mean, the quality is just so different. Like, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Not that I'm like some professional YouTuber by any means now, but there's absolutely like a difference in quality in the videos. And I'm just gonna keep adding and layering more and more. So I like to go in first and lay it down with my fingers, but now that I already did that with that first layer, I could just go in and press it in with the sponge. A little bit more. You guys are probably like, what the hell is she doing? She hates this must blush, but it's gonna look really good underneath all the makeup. It's gonna look really natural, I promise you. Same on this side. Pressing it in first with my fingertips, and then I'll go in with that sponge. This is a pretty easy no makeup look. I definitely have other go-to like no makeup looks that are a lot more, I don't want to use the word complicated, but a lot more in depth. And so I figured, let me show this one to you guys. And in case you don't already know, just from watching my videos, I always recommend and suggest that when you're applying your blush, try not to go too far in. It's always a really good kind of rule of thumb as far as suggestions go to use your iris as a guideline. And this is just really helpful for how it looks. I'm not saying you have to do this by any means. I'm not saying that if you don't do this, you're wrong. It's nothing like that. It really is just a nice, helpful guideline. Especially as we get older, our nasolabial folds right here, they get deeper, and so the further in you go with your blush, it starts to creep into that, and then when you smile like that, all of this is left like your skin tone, right? And then you have these like lines of blush, and so it ends up kind of looking like this like skin toned mustache, kind of like it ends up looking really wacky. And so it's like, do what you want, put your makeup on however you want. However, I just try to be really helpful for you guys to make you aware of things that maybe you didn't know of, you know, like maybe you had no idea that that effect could be happening to you. Maybe you had no idea that it, you know, a helpful tip as far as makeup goes is that using the iris as a guideline, you know? So again, I'm never telling you guys do this, don't do this. I'm just offering some helpful tips that you might end up liking even more. All right, as far as the underpainting goes, just keep going until you look like you got smacked in the face, which I feel like I have accomplished. All right, next I'm gonna go in with a little bit of concealer right where I need it. I'm gonna use my Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Concealer in shade 1W. I'm gonna place this exactly where I need it, which is always right in here. A lot of people get really dark in here and don't realize it. It's just such a great place to add a little hint of concealer and cover it up. And I'm gonna go in and put a little bit under my brows today. You'll see why in just a moment. I'm just gonna blend that out with my N16 from BK Beauty. And I basically just kind of pat that in. I'm adding a little bit to my very red nose that I don't want to be red. I'm just gonna press that in with my fingertip just like that. All right, I don't need to completely like conceal it because I'm gonna end up putting a skin tint right on top anyway that's gonna offer coverage. So I love to use this on my no makeup days. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in shade Dim Light. I actually end up using this as a bronzer sometimes, which I know sounds insane, but when you are as pale as me, you can get away with it. It is like, it's so beautiful as a bronzer, as a very like natural shade. We're not doing that today, but I just had to throw that in there that if you are fair, then I would absolutely try using this as a bronzer. It's so awesome. But today we're gonna use it as an eyeshadow, and I'm gonna go in with a pretty large brush. This is from Sonia G, and it's her T6 brush. I love this one for just like one and done shades, so great. All right, so I'm just gonna start here and blend it in. It's just so beautiful and natural. It just adds a nice little hint of color, but nothing crazy, nothing over the top. So yeah, it's my day off. I'm making this video. I gotta run some errands afterwards, take the dogs out for a nice walk with my husband. And then we just started watching Mobland, so I feel like we'll probably end up watching some of that afterwards. See, that's such a pretty, like, no makeup make eye color. It's so great. Now I'm gonna go in with my very much loved Tiramisu eyeliner from Sephora collection. And I am gonna use this just on my top waterline to tightline right there. And it just gives this beautiful effect of having a fuller lash line, which I will always happily take. And so I'm just gonna throw that on right in here. And do you see, I mean, it's such a subtle nuance, but do you see the difference? How that immediately just makes that lash line look denser, fuller, more lush. I just love this little hack. It's so great. I'll just do this side really quick. Yeah, it just looks so much fuller and denser already. Love it. I'm gonna go in with my Modern Mascara from Vive. I've really been liking this. Formula is so beautiful. It's not too wet, but the way that it dries down, like, how do I say this and make sense at the same time? It's like, as I'm applying it, it feels moisturizing. Like, I know that sounds so bizarre because it's your eyelashes. It feels very nourishing and conditioning. And I love that at the end of the night when I go to take it off, it comes right off. Like, it's not this struggle to get that mascara off because it's such a pain in my ass when that happens. And I also love how natural it looks. So we'll just do a couple of coats of that. And that's just one coat. It's really beautiful, guys, I'm telling you. I'm just gonna add the smallest amount right here to that outer corner on the bottom. And I do kind of want my lashes to be a little more to the side. I know that's probably a little less natural, but I don't know, I'm just kind of feeling that today. So I'm going to make sure I'm manipulating my mascara to be styled to the side. That looks so beautiful, love it. All right, so now I'm gonna go in with the Lisa Eldridge Skin Enhancing Tint. I love this. And it actually matches me so well. It's like, it's so nice to have a good match. I'm gonna put this in my hands as if it's like face cream, and I'm just gonna apply it like that, and then I'm gonna go in with my beauty blender and just kind of pat right on top of it. So it's gonna look nuts as I'm putting it on. I just like to explain, I always like to preface why what I'm doing looks insane. I'm just applying that to the middle first, and then I'm just gonna tap it out. And this really does end up looking so seamless, like undetectable. I'm just gonna blend that dim light a bit around my eyes after putting that skin tint on. Oh, look at that match. So good. And you see how well that underpainting worked? Like even with that skin tint on top, it's still showing through and it's like so subtle. It's beautiful. All right, so next I'm gonna go in with the Westman Atelier bronzing, sun tone bronzing drops. And this is in Soleil Parfait shade 1. I'm gonna shake that up. I love this. It is so beautiful. It's so gorgeous. I love the undertone. Someone was doing swatches online and said that this was really similar to Biscuit, but it's not. It's not similar to Biscuit at all. And sorry, if you are unfamiliar, Biscuit is one of the products from Westman Atelier. It is their contour stick. And so that is for contour and this is a bronzer. And so people were definitely doing some like side-by-side swatches. And I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe it translated differently on camera, but when I went into a Sephora and I did my own side-by-side swatch of this right next to Biscuit, it was very different for me. I don't know, I thought it was really different. So if that was like a concern of yours or something you were just kind of wondering about, I mean, honestly, if you live near a Sephora, it's always worth a shot to just do the swatches yourself and see how it looks on your own skin tone. So I always like to put a couple of drops on the back of my hand. This is such a beautiful color. I feel like it has slightly pinky red undertones and it just plays so well with my skin tone. I love it. All right, I'm gonna go in with my Nikki LaRose N17 brush from BK Beauty. I'm gonna use this side right here and I'm gonna pick up that bronzer and I'm just gonna start patting it on. I do the same kind of rule of thumb with my bronzer as well. I try not to go in too far down. Such a beautiful shade, love that. Just adding a little more. I bring it up. Not that anyone sees my forehead anyway, but I bring it up. And if you want, you could always turn the brush around where there's no product and just pat right around where you applied that product. It just blends it out so well. All right, now this side. I'm gonna bring a little by my ear and then down by my neck. Just kind of whatever's left over on the brush. I'm not like reapplying and doing that. I just want it to be really natural, but it's just a helpful tip so that you don't have that like line right there. Especially for no makeup, you want it to look really natural. Oh, that is so beautiful. I love that color. I'm just blending by my hairline. And if you feel like during the application you went a little too hard, you went a little too far, go back in with your sponge and just kind of blend right around the edges, you know? You could always do that. All right, so I have a refill powder right here. And this is from Jane Iredale. And this is her like mineral powder foundation. And I love this. I don't know if you could see, but it's actually pretty olive toned and fair, which is like, you never see that. So I am gonna go in with my Chikuhodo T1 brush for that because it's gigantic. And I feel like when the brush is this big, you're dispersing it further out on the face. So instead of like packing densely that powder on top, you know? And I believe this is shade Bisque if you are interested. Just gonna tap that off and just start down the center. And I'm not placing it on the bronzer. I'm just kind of going around and underneath here. Oh shoot, I always like to put a little bit of that bronzer by my nose and I forgot to do that. That's fine. Let's go ahead and add a little in now. And again, this is not contouring my nose by any means. This is just bringing the look together and making it cohesive. And you can use your fingertip and tap it out. So I like to put a little there and just like a little on the sides, a little bit on my chin. And then, I mean, there's hardly anything left on this, but I'm just gonna go in and bring it into my eyes over here. And it really just creates this like beautiful color balance so that it's not like these two stripes of color and everything else is pretty bare. You know what I mean? Unless that is what you want, then that is totally fine. But I'm just trying to give you guys some helpful tips on how to create that balance if you so want. All right, all that's left is lips. So I'm gonna go in with my Swede in Barely There. And this is cute. It comes with a little brush at the end. Just a really kind of simple beige nude shade. And so I'm just gonna line with that. I mean, it's basically like the color of my lips, but it's just gonna give a little definition, which is perfect for a no makeup look, you know? And you could take that brush at the end and just blend that so there's no harsh line. I love that there's a brush on the end. I've seen this, I think, only on the Makeup by Mario brushes as well. You don't see it too often though. Such a natural shade, love it. I got this like little Vive set and it came with this little baby. Look at the size of this. It's a little baby. It's so cute. It's a lip gloss. And so it's her Lip Dew Glossy Lip Oil. And it's this really beautiful kind of like clear with gold sparkle. But it's not like a crazy sparkle, you know? It's something you could definitely get away with for a no makeup look. And so I'm just gonna use this. I like it. It doesn't feel like thick. It doesn't feel heavy. It's just really nice and moisturizing. It smells like vanilla too. All right, that is it. That is the no makeup look with underpainting. So I feel like when people hear the word underpainting, they might get a little overwhelmed or intimidated. Like, what the hell is that? You know what I mean? Like, why can't makeup just be simple? But I promise you it is. And I hope that you were able to see that. I hope I conveyed that well enough. It's honestly drawing this on, just scribble it on, pounce away at it, let it dry and stain, and then throw on a tinted moisturizer. You don't have to do all the other things I did. You don't have to do concealer. You don't have to do a bronzer or a powder if you don't want to. You could honestly go with these two and be good, or something similar, you know? All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope that this was helpful in some way, and we'll definitely do it again soon. Yeah. So now I gotta go run those errands. I will see you next time and take it easy.